I have something to confess. I have an addiction, and that addiction is to collecting gear. Gear being knives, pens, fidget toys, and of course, flashlights. So when my good friends over at Olight asked me if I wanted to check out yet another new light, that was a bit of a no-brainer. So we're going to be checking out this all-new Olight, and be sure to stick to the end, of course, as I will have some Paracord content as well. This is the brand new Olight Seeker Pro 4. So I have done some Olight reviews in the past, but this one is different in terms of its overall size. The Seeker Pro is much more of a dedicated light source than the smaller EDC lights I've reviewed before. Not quite a large flashlight, but it's not a small pocket-sized light either. What we've got here is a medium-sized flashlight that has the classic barrel shape with the flared-out head, a hefty feeling aluminum body with a rubberized grip should your hands get wet, and a crowned bezel to top it off. Now this light feels just right in the hand. It has some very shallow scalloping on the grip so that your fingers just melt right into the body of the light. Also, that rubberized grip provides extra security if you're wearing gloves of any sort as well. Now for its size, this light really packs a wallop, boasting 4200 lumens at its brightest due to the 4 high-performance LEDs. And this actually brings me to what I think is the coolest part of this flashlight, the actuation. So if you look closely at the on and off button, there is a rotating ring surrounding it. So this ring allows you to control the brightness of the flashlight, much like that of a dimmer switch. So instead of the usual low, medium, and high settings on most flashlights, you can actually have degrees of brightness, which I think is quite unique and very useful. But of course, you can still adjust the levels of brightness by long pressing the button for 4 levels of brightness. You can adjust the brightness when the light is both on and off, and you can tell the level of brightness by the LED indicator lights on the left side of the button. While on the right side of the button, you have the battery life indicator. And this does light up whenever you rotate the control ring. Like most other Olights, we have a magnetic tail cap that unscrews, of course, to access the 21700 rechargeable 500 mAh lithium battery. And how do you charge this little beast, you might ask? Well, that leads me to the carrying/charging holster that it comes with. The light slides into this hard plastic holster that has a magnetic base inside, and on the side of that holster you have a USB-C charging port. The light does come with a USB charging cable, of course, and the way this light charges and sits in its holster is fine, but I do have one knock against it, which I'll get into. This molded holster has a hook that allows you to hook this onto your belt or webbing, but because of this holster, the light, in case you haven't noticed already, does not have any sort of pocket clip, which I do understand why it doesn't, as it is a bulkier light that you wouldn't really clip into your pocket. And this is understandable and fine, but because of this system, there is no lanyard loop for the light, as if you did have a lanyard on this light, you wouldn't be able to put it back into the holster. Sad for me, because you guys know I like to add paracord to everything. At the end of this video though, I will have a temporary solution for this. Also, when you remove the light from its holster, the disengagement of the tail cap from the base activates the battery and brightness indicator light levels. As for accessories, the light also comes with this plastic piece that has a bit of 3M adhesive on the back. This allows you to mount this onto a wall or any flat surface so that you can easily store and stow your light in the holster. You can remove the light and the holster will stay mounted if you just need quick access to the light, or you can release it from the wall mount for when you need to take the holster with you as well. It's a very cool and useful feature. So if you already own an Olight, you probably have experience with the magnetic tail cap USB charging. And while this does attach and is able to charge the Seeker Pro 4, I've been told by my contact at Olight that it is very slow to charge in this way and unreliable, so it's best to use the charging holster. And as you've seen by the footage that I've cut in, this light is plenty bright. Now, I'm no flashlight expert, but in my opinion, there is a very balanced throw and fill. And also, due to the stepless brightness dimming, this makes for a very versatile dedicated light source if you need something a bit more powerful that goes beyond the usual EDC light. So as I mentioned, we don't have a lanyard attachment point due to the way it's built and how it charges, but if we wanted to add a temporary lanyard, we can definitely do that, and I'm going to show you how. So I've got a doubled up piece of paracord, which is about 3 feet long. I'm going to wrap it once around the body of the light and pass it over the standing end at an angle. Wrap it around a second time, passing over the standing ends again. And then with the midpoint of the cord, I'm going to pass it under the crossed over sections of the cords and pull that loop through, which is going to form the wrist lanyard. From here, pull it tight to secure it. We're not going to cut off the standing ends as we want to be able to remove this lanyard and retie it. So if you do have a bit of extra cord, you can just tie a simple overhand knot to shorten the tail ends. I think this method would be great for when you know you're going to have your light out for a while and you don't want to worry about dropping it, like when you're out at night walking the dog, or better yet, when you're walking through the woods when it's dark and you don't want to risk losing your light. So you can tie this wrist lanyard on temporarily. And of course, it's very easy to untie when it's time to recharge the light. So overall, it's a great light and something you might want to consider if you're looking for a bit more power. And if you are interested in getting the Seeker 4 Pro, I'll have a link in the description for the flashlight. And at the time of this upload, it is currently on sale for the Olight O Fan Day, which runs from September 19th to the 23rd. So be sure to get it now if you want to pick this one up. And if you enjoyed this video, here is another one.